In this video, I'm sharing a matcha cake recipe with a delicious matcha whipped cream filling. The cake is decorated with buttercream, sprinkles, and gold edging. So I have my 3 layers, and I'm going to just put a ring of buttercream around. It's just plain old vanilla buttercream. And then the green tea cream in between. I might need a little higher